Music is an ever-evolving art form, just like painting or any other art form. Its trends shift. The best example is when you compare older paintings to modern paintings. Some may say that modern art is the stupidest thing they've ever seen people obsess about, and I bet a lot of people think they can recreate most of these artworks. Music is no different. Subgenres come and go, bleeding elements from multiple genres, and sometimes it doesn't work, but when it does, it really does. The latest and biggest music trend of the last few years is called Phonk, and like any trend, it saw a massive rise in popularity recently. However, this subgenre evolved like no one could ever foresee. My name is Kill Crook, and together we will find out what happened to Phonk. Phonk is a subgenre of music that blends elements of 1990s Memphis rap with modern trap and electronic influences. It typically features Memphis rap tapes, heavy bass, jazz or funk samples, and gritty lo-fi production. As many know, the term Phonk was popularized by rapper Space Ghost Purp in the early 2010s. The term has seen an immense boost to its popularity in 2021, and is now one of the most recognizable words of the modern music industry. Phonk's roots lie in the underground rap scene of Memphis, Tennessee, where artists like DJ Screw, 36 Mafia, and Tommy Wright developed a gritty lo-fi characterized by eerie samples, heavy bass, and slow-down chop-and-screwed beats. The music was often dark and menacing, focusing on themes of violence, street life, and occult symbolism. Early Phonk tracks relied heavily on sampling old funk, jazz, and soul records, blending them with raw and distorted beats. In the 2010s, Phonk experienced a resurgence through platforms like SoundCloud and YouTube. Producers inspired by the classic Memphis sound started recreating and modernizing the genre with digital tools. Artists like Suicide Boys, Xavier Wolf, and Bones played a significant role in popularizing this revival. Bringing the gritty sound to a new generation, the lo-fi aesthetic was still present, but the production became cleaner and more polished. Phonk spread especially in Europe and Russia, where it gained a dedicated fan base. A major shift occurred with the rise of drift Phonk, which became popular in car culture, especially in videos of drifting cars. Drift Phonk is faster paced and more energetic than traditional Phonk, often featuring heavy 808s, sampled from classic Memphis rap, and a new hot ingredient, 808 cowbells. This style became a viral sensation on platforms like TikTok, further increasing Phonk's mainstream appeal. Drift Phonk tracks often accompany fast-paced, action-oriented visuals. Artists like Pharmacist, Ghostface Playa, and Everest defined that era of Phonk. As Phonk grew in popularity, it began to blend with other genres like EDM and trap. Artists started experimenting with more diverse sounds. This evolution helped Phonk reach a wider audience. It has moved beyond just a regional or underground sound, becoming a more prominent global genre. But not long after, one song changed everything. This song was the start of something massive, bringing Phonk to the mainstream. But Phonk is another completely different genre than Phonk. So, why am I bringing it up? It is because of the title of the song. By putting Phonk instead of funk, and also the main artist, Slowboy, was previously a funk artist, that confused the listeners, thinking this was also Phonk. But since this song went absolutely viral, a whole lot of funk producers hopped on that trend. And they went viral as well. As they went viral, their social media posts promoting their song always had the word funk in it, further confusing everyone. Phonk has now entered a new era. As many other genres of music start to get popular, there will always be individuals who will take extreme advantage of this situation. Labels. Since there are so many new artists that try to get viral on making a simple, distorted Phonk song, not one artist comes to mind as the one that defined this trend, other than maybe Slowboy, and even he is not chasing the genre anymore. Record labels are now the defining factor of Phonk. The main players are Black 17 Media, Tribal Trap, Broke, Void, and many more. Using their connections over at popular streaming services like Spotify, they were able to basically pick which song would go in the Phonk editorial playlist, which is currently sitting at over 9 million saves. One placement in this playlist, and the artist will go viral and could easily cover the bills. As a result, many artists, having benefited from the viral success driven by labels, sought independence by starting their own labels. They reclaimed creative freedom. These new labels do the exact same thing as the original ones, only signing what will get them views. And there's nothing wrong with that, although seen as extremely greedy. If you have the budget to start pumping money into advertisements, you can easily profit in a matter of a few months. But this approach made everything extremely stale. The genre became a sort of meta, where everyone is trying to do what works and only that. Other than making money, what is the point? Is making music purely for monetary gain still considered art? Making music is supposed to be a form of expression of who you are, your feelings, your experiences. When music is created primarily to generate a revenue, it loses the personal emotional depth that people associate with authentic art. Although art and commerce have coexisted for centuries, does the fact that an artist aims to profit negate the creative process? Most songs that are placed in the Phonk playlist simply lack character. While it's totally fine for someone to enjoy listening to these type of songs, it simply cannot be called Phonk anymore. In this new Brazilian funk trend, not only is the production entirely different, but there is no more sampling of jazz or Memphis rap samples. Even the vocal chops were replaced with lines from Brazilian or Portuguese rappers, such as MC Brooklyn, MC Lone, and so many others. Even the defining attribute of 2021's era of funk, the 808 cowbell, is completely absent. On its own, baile funk was an already established genre that emerged from the favelas of Rio de Janeiro. What a lot of people do is mistake funk for funk. While it clearly states in the first line of the Wikipedia page, this issue has been going on for a few years now. Everywhere on social media, when you hear a Brazilian funk track playing, you will often see hashtag listed as hashtag funk or hashtag Brazilian funk. Even if those tags aren't there, the comments will probably be filled with people referring to it as funk. Primarily funk producers switching to Brazilian funk caused those two genres to be easily mistaken in the eyes of the public. This sort of development, where the genre loses its sound of origin, has a lot of negative impact on the sound itself. As funk continues to disconnect from its roots, the genre is constantly criticized, not only by non-fans seeing it as cringe 7-year-old Sigma Roblox music, but also from its original fanbase. The genre lost the authenticity that made it resonate with them. As the genre changes, its original followers might reject the new direction, leading to the rise of some genres or movements that attempt to preserve or reclaim part of its original sound. For example, G-House or Opera Funk. Or the new hashtag Revive Funk, or even Metal Funk. When a genre enters the mainstream, it's often commercialized. That leads to a loss of depth. It becomes more polished and formulaic, aimed at the broader audiences, leading to a disconnect from the original community. Record labels and producers have adopted formulas that boost their odds at commercial success, often at the cost of creativity. This already happened with genres like punk and EDM as they became more popular. Funk now stands at a crossroads. As the genre continues to evolve, it constantly faces the pressure of commercialization. While some may see this as a natural progression, others view it as a loss of genre's authenticity. Ultimately, funk's future will depend on how artists, fans, and labels navigate these changes, whether they choose to preserve the genre's roots or embrace its continued evolution into new forms. But hey, that's just a... Oh, never mind.